Today's lesson, what's the date? 2/16/18. We are doing what we call trinomial factoring, okay? Fancy word, but trinomial because we've got 1, 2, 3 terms, right? That's why it's called trinomial, because all of these have 1, 2, 3 terms, okay? Does that make sense? So the trick is, we really want to get, and I'm going to say this several times, the multiples of the last number that add up to the middle number. We need the multiples of the last number that add up to the middle number, okay? So we're going to go for sure. We know it came from FOIL, right? So it's really like the opposite FOIL, okay? So if it's opposite FOIL, let's set it up like this, okay? If it's opposite FOIL, parentheses, 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 okay? The only way to get a c squared is with a c times a c, right? What times what makes 7? What times what makes 7? This is easy, isn't it? What's 7 plus 1? There you go, boom, plus 7 plus 1. And if you wanted to check it, and I will check it. I'll show you how to check it. We won't check them very often. But if you want to make a check on this to make sure we have the right answer, you could just FOIL it, couldn't you? To check it, you could just FOIL. And again, I won't check them very often because I already know the answer is right. But you get a c squared, right? Plus a 1c plus a 7c plus 7. And sure enough, c squared plus 8c plus 7 gets us back to our original question, right? But the answer is that. This c plus 7, c plus 1 is the answer. It's been factored. So factoring is just undoing FOIL. Factoring is just undoing FOIL. That's all it is. It's going back to the original question, isn't it? So, how about number 2? Okay, so number 2, same thing. Parentheses, 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 parentheses. Okay, start there. Okay. The only way we're going to get an a squared is an a times an a, right? Right? So, what times what makes 64? 8 times 8 is good, isn't it?
Fell on the floor, picked it up, and it was 64.
Thank you, Ben. So,
Good job, Ben.
8, what's 8 plus 8? 16, right? So it's got to be a plus 8 and a plus 8. And that's my answer. Okay? That answer is great. Now, I like that answer. Somebody super smart might say, gosh, Mr. Davies, like Sasha, she'd probably say, Mr. Davies, can't I write as an a plus 8 squared? Same thing, right? Same thing. Both answers are correct, okay? All right? How am I doing? Okay, you want to shift down to, let's shift down to 7, okay? Let's shift down to 7. All the way to 7. Or do you guys want to practice the rest of these? Let's do them all. What the heck? We got time. How about number 3? What do you think? Okay, parentheses, 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 parentheses. Why don't you guys try number 3 real quick? Okay, try it on your own. Why don't you try 3 on your own real quick? Okay, give number 3. Everybody give number 3 a try on their own. Give it a try. I know, 3. We might.
Number 3?
We might not do all of them.
I can't see number 3.
You can't see 3. That's no good. But you do have a journal in front of you, don't you, Ben?
Do I? Okay.
Number 3, all right? Give it a try on your own. Give it a try on your own. X. You know we got to start there, right? Right? Got to start there. These are fun. I like these too. They make you think a little bit. Some kids hate them because it makes them think a little bit, but some kids like them because they're like little puzzles, right? What times what makes 18? What times what makes 18? What times what makes 18? Kendra, tell me. 9 and 2. Kendra, tell me. 9 and 2, yes. Plus 9, plus 2. I could use 3 and 6, but that won't work, right? Okay, how many kids got that? X plus 9, X plus 2? Good. All right, let's try number 4. Let's try number 4. I think we've done 4, but we just did with X. Okay, give 4 a real quick try, huh? Everybody try 4 on their own. Try 4 on your own. Try 4 on your own. Okay, try formula. We know for sure we got to go a D and a D. That's the only way we're going to get a D squared, right? D and D makes D squared. What times what makes 8? Oscar, what times what makes 8? You're awesome. What's 4 plus 2? We nailed it, right? We nailed it. So how about a plus 4 plus 2? Good job, Oscar. Everybody agree with that? Okay. How am I doing? Luke's here. Good man. Luke, grab your journal. We're working on stuff, okay? 5. Let's do 5 real quick, right? Parentheses, 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 parentheses. Thanks, Luke. Thank you. S and S, right? You guys agree? S and S? Lucky you. Wish I had that note. Okay, S and S. So what times what makes 10? What times what makes 10? It's got to be a 1 and 10. You agree? It's got to be a 1 and 10. Everybody agree? Plus 1 plus 10. Because that makes the 11. Thumbs up. Does it seem easy? Does it seem easy? Okay, good. Okay, all right. Am I going too fast?
No.
Okay, I'll wait for you. Just a little bit. Okay. I have a lot of patience, Tim. I do. Okay, number 6, right? Try 6 on your own. Parentheses, 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 right? Right? Got to have a U. Got to have a U. Okay, so what times what makes 9? Luke, I'm going to join you in the class. Okay, what times what makes 9, Luke? You're right, but 3 plus 3 doesn't make a 10. So 3 and 3 is correct, but not correct enough. What else makes 9? Shh. Brian, stop talking to him. Luke, what times what makes 9? And give me another combination. 9. How about 9 and 1? Hey, you know why I like 9 and 1? Because 9 plus 1 makes 10. Yeah, plus 9 plus 1. Okay, give me a thumb. Give me hands up if you got it right. Hands up. Okay, now let's shift to number 7. And number 7 is different because you got a negative. Okay, now remember. Are you listening? Positive times a negative. Positive times a negative, right? Positive times a negative makes a negative. Agree? Positive times a negative. So when I do number 7, I'm going to go parentheses, parentheses, right? I'm going to go B with a B. Now, I need positive times a negative. Positive times a negative. So what times what makes 54? What times what makes 54? Anybody know?
So 7 times 9.
7?
It's 6 times 9.
6 times 9. 6 times 9, right? 6 times 9. So what if I had a plus 9 and a minus 6? Will that work? Will that work? I get a negative 54, but when I add them, I get a positive 3, right? When I multiply them, I get a negative 54, but when I add them, I get a positive 3. Okay. How about number 8? To do number 8, to make it easy for myself, I need to put a 1. It's going to help me if I put a 1 right there. Put a 1 right there. Put a 1 right there, okay? It's going to help me out, okay? So parentheses, 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 parentheses. This one's really easy because there's only one way to make 2. What times what makes 2? Come on, really. What times what makes 2?
1 times
Exactly. So, but we need to make, so 2 and a 1's right. Totally right. We're going to need a negative 2 and a positive 1. It's got to be a negative 2 and a positive 1 because we need to make the negative 1 when we add them, right? Okay. Number 9. Okay, we're going to go parentheses, 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 right? Right? It's got to be U and U because U times U makes U squared, right? So, U times U makes U squared. There we go. Thank goodness vacation's coming, huh? So, positive times a negative, right? Positive times a negative. Positive times a negative, right? Positive times a negative. So what are we going to do? What times what makes 9 or makes 18? 6 and 3, right? How about a positive 6 and a negative 3 because that will make our positive 3. You guys think this is pretty easy? As long as you know your times facts. If you don't know your times facts, you're in trouble, right? Okay, slide over to 10. Okay. 10. Okay, put a 1 right there. It's going to help you out. Put a 1 right there, okay? Put a 1 right there. It's going to help you, okay? Parentheses, 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 right? What times what makes 56? 7 and 8. 7 and 8 is good. How about negative 8, positive 7? Negative 8, positive 7. So I'm going to go Z, Z, negative 8, positive 7, okay? And we can jump from 11 to 13. I'm going to go to 13 in a second, but go ahead and write that down. And you guys can finish up 11, 12 on your own, right? Okay, now, all right, 13. What makes 13 different? 13 needs to be solved, okay? It needs to be solved, okay? So in the end, we're going to have x equals x equals. Now, we're going to need, to do 13 through 18, we're going to need our mini equations. Remember our mini equations? We're going to need mini equations, okay? To do number 13, we're going to need our mini equations. But the bad part is we don't have mini equations yet. But we'll factor, we're going to factor to get mini equations. All right, Gavin, you watching? So, let's factor. Boom, 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 equals 0, okay? Okay, we need mini equations. So, G and G, right? Okay, what times what makes 40? What?
5 times 8.
There you go. And we need a negative times, we're going to do a negative times a negative. 5 times 8 is totally right. Negative times a negative. You okay with negative times a negative? Because we need a negative 13, so I'm going to go a negative 5 and a negative 8. Okay? You're back. Okay, so then we're going to have a G minus 5 equals 0. Remember our mini equations? G minus 8 equals 0. So we use our mini equations when we have an equal sign, okay? We're going to use our mini equations when we get an equal sign, okay? So, plus 5, one answer is 5. Plus 8, one answer is 8. 2 answers. X squared, 2 answers. X squared, 2 answers, always. X squared, 2 answers, always.
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 Even if sometimes the 2 answers are the same answer. Always, twice. Okay? 14. So 14, we need our mini equations, right? Factor. So go parentheses, 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 right? Okay? We know we're going to need a K and a K, all right? What times what makes 6? What times what makes 6? What times what makes 6? What times what makes 6?
1 times 6.
Yes, but give me a better combination.
3 times 2.
How about a negative times a negative? Negative times a negative. Negative 2, negative 3. Makes the negative 5, right? Mini equations, right? We've got to solve. So we
What
got
about
to
negative 6, 1?
well, that would make a negative 6 here,
That's
right? Mini equations, right?
that'd make a 5, not a negative 5.
Right. Plus 2, one answer is 2. Plus 3, plus 3. Always 2 answers, right? Whoops, that's a 3. Always 2 answers, right? Okay. Let's jump down to 16 when you're ready, okay?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's jump down to 16. Now, it has to equal 0. It has to equal 0. So what we're going to do, it must equal 0. Must equal 0, okay? Has to equal 0. So I'm going to bring the 30 over, okay? I'm going to bring the 30 over. I want them all together. I want all 3 terms together. So how do I bring the 30 over? I have to subtract it, right? How do I bring the 30 over? I'm going to subtract it. So I'm going to have a x squared minus an x minus a 30, okay, equals 0, okay? Put a 1 here. It's going to help me factor it. So I brought the 30 over by subtracting it. Factor, 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 okay? Parentheses, 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 right? I know for sure x and x, right? Right? What times what makes 30? What times what makes 30?
3 times 1.
15 times 2.
Yes, but we want a
30?
30, yeah.
3.
29,
times.
29,
Oh, I
wait,
thought
30
you
times
said
1,
30.
30 times 1.
Yes, but that's not what I'm looking for.
10 times 3.
It's not what I'm looking for.
Wait, what are we
30
saying?
times 1.
times
30
5.
times 1.
Minus 6,
Wait, do you have
positive
Yes!
5.
Oh,
we
we're
have to
trying
do
to
that?
get
Do
a
we have to say the
negative 1.
minus and the positive?
Yeah, gotta be.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
Oh, I should have.
There you go.
That's
There you go.
negative.
So,
I'll
x
bring it over, that's
minus 6 equals 0. x plus 5 equals 0, we have x equals 6, x equals negative 5, right? Okay, last but not least, I want to do the little number 19, okay? Okay. So the area of a right triangle is 16 square miles. So let's just draw ourselves a triangle, okay? Okay, so the area is 16, right? One leg of the triangle is 4 times longer than the other leg. So let's call this one x, and let's call this one x minus, or x plus 4. Okay, there we go. So, slide over. So, the area is 16. This one's 4 times longer. I don't know how long it is, but so that's why I use x. I don't know. X and x plus 4, okay? So here's what we know about the area of any triangle. It's going to be, area is always going to be, is here. Area is going to be 1/2 base times height, right? Isn't that the area of a triangle? So we're going to have 16 equals 1/2 times x plus 4, okay? Chris, you said a good thing. You said times by 2. I agree with that. Did you say times by 2?
No.
Oh, maybe it was Tim.
No.
Oh, it's Luke.
No, I'm just kidding.
So if I were to times both sides by 2, I'd get a, if I times both sides by 2, if I just said, okay, I'm going to multiply times by 2, so multiply by 2, it'll cancel the 1/2, and I'll have really 32 equals x times x plus 4, right? It's kind of a hard one, but these are good problems to do. I'm going to go x squared plus 4x, and I'll bring over the 32. Okay, how am I doing?
Horrible.
Factor, right? Factor. X. Luke, you said it. What times what makes 32? What times what? 8 times 4, right?
8 times 4, that's right. Yeah.
Positive 8 minus 4. Okay, so I've got my mini equations. Almost done, kids, almost done. So my answers are x equals negative 8 and x equals plus 4. Now, here's the thing. We're going to throw away this answer here. We're going to throw it away. Because this can't be a negative length, can it? Right? So you throw it away. It's just 4. Okay, that's what I have. And if you open up your computer, you're going to